Good afternoon, and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the Rossford High School class of 2020. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Gabriel Wagner.
I pledge allegiance to the flag and the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
The president of the class of 2020 is Hannah Pierce. Hannah is the daughter of Colleen and Mike Pierce.
Hello and welcome to the class of 2020's graduation ceremony. Senior year and graduation are times that my classmates and I have looked forward to since the beginning. Seeing our older siblings and friends participate in that final senior week, the senior spirit days, and of course getting to walk across the stage to receive their diploma. It's a milestone that we all have eagerly been awaiting. If someone would have told us at the start of this school year that our senior year would be different than any other, we all probably would have laughed. Obviously, we were different. We started the year at Owens and were able to finish it in the new school, but nobody would have predicted how truly different this year would be. So some might have considered us a class of change or even a class of new beginnings, but I consider my classmates and I a class of history, a class that nobody will ever forget. From individual accomplishments to the class as a whole, we will go down in history. To shed some light on some of the historic milestones my classmates have achieved, I'll start with extracurriculars. We have members of our band that have made not one but two state appearances for the first time in RHS history. We have countless student athletes that hold records within our school, and for some, at an even higher level. We have athletes that have received league, district, and state honors, and some that have gotten offers to continue doing what they love at a collegiate level. We are a class of passion and determination. There are graduates going on to receive a college degree, some who are ready to jump into the workforce, and others who are making the selfless decision to protect and serve our country. No matter what path we choose to walk after turning that tassel, we will have one thing in common: the lessons and memories from RHS. After walking down the path that the 6th and 7th graders made for us on our last day as junior high students, I don't think anybody was ready for what these next 4 years would bring us. But ready or not, our families, friends, and the staff of RHS, and so many more, helped us through it, and we are here. Different from the rest or not, we made it. We are here, and today is our day. So to the class of history, the class of change, and the class that everyone will remember, I say congratulations. And on behalf of the graduating class of 2020, to our RHS staff, family, and friends, I say thank you, and we did it.
Well, good afternoon, students and families, and welcome to this year's graduation for the class of 2020. On behalf of the Board of Education, I want to start out by congratulating this class. And wow, what an incredibly wild ride this has been for the class of 2020. And we certainly are so very proud of you on this day of celebration. I also just want to take a brief moment to thank all of the staff here at Rossford Schools for your continued commitment to our students, to our district, and the success that we've been experiencing over the last several years. Enough can't be said about all of the things you've done, especially our teachers in this remote learning world, in preparing these students for their day of graduation. So thank you to everyone. Just a few comments about today's graduating class. And as I began to think about this, you have to ask yourself, what do I say to or about a class that has experienced so many challenges and yet achieved at such high levels, particularly during a time that's going to be recorded as part of world history? What do you say to them that brings some context and meaning to the words that we're going to share here today? And I guess something that I began to think about was maybe a common experience that many of us have. I'll start out there and put it in the context of future conversations that these graduating members of 2020 will have. And as you think about that, let's think about perhaps future family gatherings that you're going to be a part of. Maybe it's a wedding or a family reunion. And let's put yourself perhaps at a picnic table or a dining setting with, typically those conversations often happen with family members, right? Maybe it be a grandparent or even a great-grandparent, aunt or uncle. You get to choose that person that you're sitting there with. And again, in that setting. And then for just a moment, let's take that conversation and let's press pause and let's set it aside for just a second. And let's just start out by covering just a few of the highlights of this outstanding class and what they've been through. As many of the students or your classmates have already talked about, your career high school was interrupted in part by a building project. And so you found yourselves experiencing at least half your senior year and beyond that at a community college campus where you had to learn all new routines, all new procedures, not just for your classes, but for dances and athletic events and concerts, you name it, it was all different. And like was a model for this class of 2020, you never wavered. You put your head down, you persevered, you encountered every single one of those situations with a can-do attitude, with an attitude that this will get accomplished, where you never seem to be rushed or get excited about in terms of nervous excitement, just a very calm, cool, determined attitude that we were so very proud of. And then comes halfway through the school year, of course, you had to pack everything up and move back home here to our campus where we were so happy to welcome you, so glad to see you come here. And yet at the same time, once again, you're faced with almost an entirely new setting, new set of classes, new set of circumstances, new procedures, and yet in that same class of 2020 style, you handled it with great class and dignity. We had so many things to celebrate because of you and your senior leadership. And before we go back to that conversation with you and that family member at the table, I just want to touch on just a few of them. Obviously, each and every one of you will have your own set of experiences, your own memories that you're going to take with you as you leave us and go out into your new life. And all of those are unique and wonderful. And I just thought that perhaps I would just touch on 3 of them, even though there are a whole host of them, right? The first one that comes to mind as a major experience was the opening night in our downtown competition gym here with our girls varsity basketball team. Kind of a little side note that many people don't know about, of course, we were all anxious about getting that gym open and ready to go. We were scurrying around making sure that the scoreboard worked, that the lighting worked, many other things like that. And I walked in to see the game. Of course, the gymnasium is packed. Just incredible. One of the greatest performances I've ever seen by a Rossford team ever here, between the shooting, the dribbling, the defense. Again, against a highly talented, undefeated, and state-ranked opponent at that time. We were the serious underdog. And yet, we led through that game. And any time that an opponent challenged us, they never got anxious, they never got nervous, they just seemed to keep forging ahead. The energy in that gymnasium that evening at that game was one that I think everyone there will forever remember. The second one that I wanted to touch on with everyone here today is, of course, all of the continued great accomplishments of our marching band. As you know, for the first time, I believe in school history, the marching band qualified to compete at the state level. And seeing the families there and our students perform at the University of Dayton, just doing such an incredible job and representing the school district and the band program so well behind the direction of Mr. Kelly, who, as we know, is a Toledo Symphony Orchestra Educator of the Year. Just seeing that accomplishment on that day was absolutely incredible. And that, of course, was the way they qualified with that, for that state appearance. Of course, many of our band parents and band members will forever remember was an evening down at Swanton High School in which they achieved first place in what many would have said a day when it was raining sideways, basically. But what, just again, a testament to that senior leadership, leading the rest of those band members in the driving rain, and then again, representing us so proudly at the University of Dayton state competition. The third and final experience that I will share, and again, many of you have your own, took place on a crisp fall evening at Jackson-Ferguson Stadium when the Ohio Department of Education arrived and designated Rossford High School behind the efforts of our Serving Our Soldiers program and the senior leadership, again, part of that program, for all of their support for service members and members of the military and their families. Through our Serving Our Soldiers actions under the direction of Ms. Fellman, was designated as a Purple Star Award recipient for the state of Ohio, which, as you know, has to meet certain criteria. And we were just so proud of that program on that crisp fall evening, one that I certainly will never forget. All of this, again, behind the leadership and the resilience of this class of 2020. And those are all celebrations that we had even before we got to a worldwide pandemic. But now let's just take you back to that conversation that you're having with that family member. And we know how this kind of goes, right? They're going to sit down and as you usually have conversation. And oftentimes with older folks like myself, right, we're going to start to reminisce and impart words of wisdom to you and share our experiences. And you've heard kind of the old proverbial, well, I had to walk 10 miles to and from school, largely uphill in a foot of snow, and we did this and we did that in some way, sharing with you in a polite and friendly way how they somehow had it more difficult or more challenging than you did, right? And so what I foresee happening and how these experiences that you've had play into these future conversations, you in your traditional fashion will listen to them respectfully and politely. And typically when those types of conversations end, sometimes we may decide to just stand up and move on to another conversation, right? But with you, with the class of 2020, I see this as playing out much, much differently. When they complete their story, instead of getting and walking away, you may just say, hey, I want to tell you a little something about the class of 2020. Make yourself comfortable. Can I maybe get you something to drink or eat? Because I've got some stories to tell you and what we went through. Well, hopefully, I think you get the picture. These are all your memories. These are your stories. And I leave you to tell them just how great this class of 2020 is, was, and forever will be in the heart of all of our Rossford Bulldog graduates. God bless and best of luck.
This year's salutatorian is Samantha McConowitz. Samantha is graduating with a cumulative grade point average of 4.15. She is the daughter of Michelle and Ed McConowitz, and she will be attending the University of Toledo, majoring in early childhood education and playing basketball for the Rockets.
Don't worry, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. As many of you know, speeches aren't my thing. Good afternoon, friends, families, teachers, guests, and of course, the Rossford class of 2020. I want to start off with a huge thank you to everyone who's helped my fellow classmates and me these last 4 years. Thank you for the countless hours of hard work put into helping us get where we are today. Thank you for the endless support through the good and the bad. And finally, thank you to everyone who is here and or watching as we celebrate such a huge milestone in our lives. Everyone from family to teachers to people in the community has had such a huge impact on our lives. Whether you realize it or not, we wouldn't be celebrating this accomplishment without all of your support. This isn't exactly how we expected to end our senior year. Senior year was supposed to be the best year here at Rossford. We spent years looking forward to senior prom, decision day, senior week, and a normal graduation. But unfortunately, it wasn't the traditional senior year. We missed out on many of those fun experiences and even our spring sports season. We didn't have that closure that we thought we'd have. But through it all, we are still thankful to be able to walk across the stage and at least have somewhat of a normal graduation. We have Mr. Krebs, Mr. Bashir, and the rest of the Rossford High School staff to thank for that. It seems like just yesterday we were walking into freshman orientation, annoyed to be back to school, yet excited to start this new chapter. I remember Mr. Edmond telling us that these next 4 years will be the best 4 years, or the fastest 4 years of your life. I know that I didn't really care to believe him, but if there's one thing I learned those 4 years, he sure wasn't wrong. In what seems like the blink of an eye, those 4 years are over. It's been a whirlwind of a ride for all 2020 graduates, but especially us. We've been in 3 different schools, 4 if you count our own homes. We've played sports without a home court, drama without a theater to call home, and even school dances in places that we wouldn't consider normal. But despite the difficulties, we've been resilient. We've made some amazing friendships and unforgettable memories. Our class is full of many different talents. Through the years, we've earned multiple awards for our sports, our clubs, and our band. There have been NBC champions, sectional champions, district champions, all league award winners, all district award winners, and all state award winners. We left our mark here at Rossford, whether it be in sports, in the classroom, or on the stage. We've shown that we are capable of and proved that our futures are bright. As we go our separate ways, there are so many things that we can take with us. So many lessons that we've learned, so many obstacles that we've overcome. So many memories that we'll always cherish, and so many friendships that will live forever. We may not always stay as close as we are now, but there will always be that special place in our hearts for what we have shared. The class of 2020 will go down as one of the strongest classes ever because of the situation that we were dealt and how we handled it. But we made the best of what we were given. Class of 2020, this is now our opportunity, our moment, and our time to shine. Congratulations.
This year's valedictorian is Catherine Mcmillan. Catherine is graduating with a cumulative grade point average of 4.24. She is the daughter of Melanie Mcmillan and Chad Mcmillan. Catherine will be attending the University of Toledo and majoring in nursing.
Hello to all my fellow classmates, their family and friends, and to anyone else who is here to support Rossford's 2020 graduating class. It feels quite unreal that this day is here, 1, because freshman year does not feel like it was just 4 years ago, and 2, because we are in the middle of a pandemic. I have thought and stressed a lot about what I was going to say today. I know, typical kitty. I decided that I wanted to try to be untraditional and make this as raw and honest as it could be, which, is also very like me. Be warned, though, I am known to be a tad emotional and I may cry. To start out, I'm going to tell you all the story about my high school experience and what it taught me. I am hoping that by hearing this, it will allow you to see my mistakes and understand what was essential for me to learn before I could improve. I want to educate others on the importance of mental health, resilience, compassion, and community, so that as they proceed in their journeys, they may grow to be as successful and healthy as they could possibly be. I believe to start my story, it's best to begin with sophomore year. I would have said my life at the time was socially and academically what I had dreamed of since 6th grade. I felt content with what I had accomplished and what I was doing at the time. I thought I was on top of my game by being involved in the school, getting great grades, and being friends with a lot of people. My mental health was really the only thing that was not at its best, but I went to therapy for it, and it didn't seem that important when I had so many other things to make me happy. This is mistake number 1, believing that my mental health was not a priority. I was just fooling myself. My junior year is when every single thing I was used to and that gave me comfort seemed to vanish. My classes had become harder, and what I was learning did not feel like it came to me as easily as it did in the past. I then began to put more pressure on myself to succeed and be as accomplished as I had been in previous years. I didn't want others to see just how bad it had become because the thought of being a failure and letting people down terrified me. This is mistake number 2, isolating myself by not turning to others for help. It sadly became a little too much to carry, and I had to be hospitalized for trying to harm myself. Major disclaimer, I look back now and see the error of my ways. I deeply regret what I did because it almost made me feel like, it almost made me feel like my life was harder and more stressful. This is mistake number 3, thinking that by taking the actions I did, I would solve my problems. The guilt and fear of moving forward afterwards was immeasurable, and never in a lifetime would I wish what happened to me or the feelings I had towards myself upon anyone else. As my junior year proceeded, I tried to implement decisions to be healthier mentally and physically. I lessened my course load, went to therapy weekly, and spent half of my days aiding for teachers that made me feel safe and productive. Despite my efforts, life still seemed like it wanted to make me suffer and not get better. Each new month of the year brought another painful, trying life event that would make me question who I even was and what my purpose was. By June, I felt like I was back in square one, thinking about how I just wanted to lay down, go to sleep, and not wake up. I felt like I had totally lost my identity. I was no longer a cheerleader, I didn't want to be involved anymore, and my love for learning seemed to diminish. I felt broken. Luckily, over the summer, I had more time to work on myself and do things to basically rebuild me. I chose to implement many new behaviors to try to rewire my thinking. It was not easy, but it led to moments, no, not material things, that brought me genuine joy, laughter, and comfort, which I had not felt in quite some time. It gave me hope and was like a big reset. I realized I may not have control over everything that happens to me, but I do have control of how I proceed and handle myself afterwards. What happened to me in the past sucked, but by moving forward, not ruminating on the negative so much that it consumed me and caused me to overlook the simple happy things in life, I was able to reconnect with who I am at my core and learn to be more grounded. It was essential for me to learn the value of prioritizing my health and living more in the moment. It was essential for me to learn that needing help does not make me anything but human, and that I should learn to treat and value myself the same way I do with others. And it was essential for me to learn to move forward and try to be a better me, but also remember what the past has taught me so I can avoid repeating mistakes. Learning these lessons and valuing them seriously has really helped me in many aspects of my life. I will note, I do not execute them perfectly, and I do forget to apply them, even now sometimes. What can I say? I'm a work in progress. I can't change overnight. To round out my story, I should probably finish with my senior year. This year, I took all my classes at the University of Toledo. I did this because I needed a fresh start and a clean slate. I was trying to move past who I was, and I didn't want to fall back into that person. I knew I would just fester in the past if I didn't, which is what I was trying to avoid, and it was time for me to let go. The actions I took and my new philosophies enabled me to better myself mentally, academically, socially, and physically this year. Don't get me wrong, this year was still not perfect, and it definitely did not go to plan at the end, aka the pandemic. But realistically, I think that's how everyone feels about now. But on the bright side, look at where we are. Despite everything, we still made it to today and are alive to see tomorrow. I know this is probably not what you expected to hear from me today as a valedictorian, but I wanted to share my experience because I know some have been, are, or will be where I was, and I rather they see the importance of mental health, resilience, compassion, and community today than having to go through many ordeals in the future to figure it out. Why do I want others to see the value in these things? Because your mental health impacts every aspect of your life, and the better it is, the more happy and successful you can be. Because getting knocked down is inevitable, but learning to always try to recover and rise makes you unstoppable. Because when you are nice and forgiving to yourself and others, it makes life a lot easier and allows you to experience more happiness. And because having a support system to guide, push, and help you is essential to functioning and surviving. Trying to navigate life alone would be hard AF. I truly believe that once you do understand the importance of these concepts, you are opening yourself up to live to your fullest potential. To my class, I wish you all the very best and cannot wait to see every one of you hopefully flourish in the future. Each one of you are capable of making a big impact in this world. I hope you understand how much I want you guys to live a happy, fulfilling life. I would not have shared what I did if I didn't care for you all. Congratulations, class of 2020. We've made it, despite the odds and many obstacles. Stay happy and healthy. Love, Kitty.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. The day you sing and take wings and fly. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. To be free. Blackbird fly. Blackbird fly, just fly. You were always waiting for the moment you could fly, fly, fly. Blackbird fly, just fly, fly. Do, do, you, do, do. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird sing, moments here. Blackbird sing.
Gabriel James Wagner, summa cum laude, and recipient of the Carrie Keller Carry On Memorial Scholarship. Hannah Sue Pierce. Samantha Lynn McConowitz, summa cum laude. Catherine Elizabeth Mcmillan, summa cum laude. Jordan Taylor Boland, summa cum laude. Colby Ross Lilly, summa cum laude. Hunter Michael Hitchens, summa cum laude. Jackson Sater Murtha, summa cum laude. Emily Nicole Pruss, summa cum laude. Bryant Davis Whitaker, summa cum laude. Aubrey Brianne Zolchik, summa cum laude. Madeline May Archambault, Amber Harmony Bassett, Madison Lee Alford, Brooke Constance Beal, Quinn Kathleen Arbaugh, Bailey Mariah Almester, Jacob Xavier Bomia. Michaela Sandy Boyd. Gabriel Mason Kane Belcher. David Matthew Bovey. Tesla Ann Bias. Alexis Noel Burtz. Matthew Lee Coates, Jr. Mariah Clint. Devin Allen Brown. Tegan Alexander Coyle. Dakota Ryan Cook. Brady Allen Brunson. Jacqueline Sunshine Dorn. Allison Marie Curtis. Michael Troy Cunningham. Christopher David Detlef. There you go. Samuel Wyatt Doughton. Madeline May Duval. Ethan Gregory DeWeese. Hallie Nancy Ann Golden. Kerrigan Taylor Durko. Annalicia Marie Encalado. Haley Lynn Farbrother. Melinda Grace Duvey. Leah Nicole Espin. Jessica Lillian Fields. Justin Thomas O'Hara Fields. Good job. Kaylee Rochelle Groom. Nicole Taylor Ferguson. Allison Elizabeth Haas. Noah Timothy Fosgate. Braden Presley Hoyles. River James Hoyles. Kelsey Lauren Haskell. Alexis Taylor Hinks. Caden Miguel Hahn. Lisa Elizabeth Horseman. Lucy Olivia Hoskins. Jaylyn Sadie Hicks. William Donovan Kurt. Megan Elizabeth Jaros. Zachary Allen Comensa. Ireland Jean Elizabeth Hutchins. Ireland is also a recipient of the Carrie Keller Carry On Memorial Scholarship. Grace Emily Rose Nitz. Clayton Scott Lilly. Andrew Michael Klempner. Wyatt Jacob Lang. Kyle Mason Hoyt. Justin Allen Locke. Noah Valen Lewengrath. Shauna Kathleen Lepper. Kyle Joseph Kromenecker. Neil Angus McKinnon IV. Bailey Rose Pelka. Alyssa Rose Morris. Okay. Reed Ewing Murphy. Jacob Donald Manor Horniak. Oh.
You're all right. You got the stage all to yourself.
Alexander Donald Miller. Angela Lynn Moulter. Walker Dale Poorman. That's funny. Ruben Santos Rivera. Dylan White Prater. Luke Michael Rue. Carlton Chase Roberts. Carlton is the recipient of the Thomas Belkofer Memorial Scholarship. Nicholas Patrick Perry. Caitlin Kathleen Petro. Corinna Janae Sayer. Damian Lee Sylvie. Colette Justine Sandman. Madison Lindy Shimming. Peyton James Robertson. Hayden Michael Sabovic. John William Sanders. Brian Terrell Scott, Jr. Joel Christian Schugert. Brian Jeffrey Sprinsky, Jr. Jacob Anthony Schiffert. Zachary Tyler Sparks. Donovan Michael Jacob Schuler. Olivia Page Smith. Ian Michael Teague. Haley Sydney Troutman. Austin Ian Vargo. Nicole Elizabeth Stevenson. Jessica Marie Steiner. Nolan Bryce Walker. Jonathan Tyler Jordan. Savannah Jean Yandel. James Harrison Roy Worley. Samantha Lorena Yanes. Cheyenne Marie Weiland. Damian Anthony Wilcox.
Who hasn't come through yet? See, I don't know if that one I told you. Is Cheyenne Wyland? Yeah, she came through. No, the one I told you, but the one I told you about.
At this time, I'd like to say the local scholarship donors and recipients for the class of 2020. The Eloise Barthold Scholarship goes to Gabriel Wagner. The Thomas Belkoffer Memorial Scholarship goes to Carlton Roberts. The Rossford Food Services Scholarship goes to Colby Lilly and Gabriel Wagner. The Genoa Bank Scholarship goes to Nicholas Perry. The Herman and Liselot Nordman Scholarship goes to Tesla Bias, Ireland Hutchins, Colby Lilly, Jackson Murtha, Nicholas Perry, and Emily Pruss. The Carrie Keller Carry On Memorial Scholarship goes to Ireland Hutchins and Gabriel Wagner. The Perrysburg Kiwanis Scholarship goes to Jalen Hicks and Taylor Myers. The Larry Emsch Scholarship goes to Samantha McConowitz. The OPSI Local 384 Scholarship goes to Megan Giroux. The Patricia Gladio Scholarship goes to Tesla Bias. The RACT Scholarships go to Megan Giroux, Jackson Murtha, Carlton Roberts, and Gabriel Wagner. The Ralphie Scholarship goes to Emily Pruss. The Robert M. Falls Scholarship goes to Olivia Smith. The Rossford Athletic Boosters Scholarships go to Jordan Boland, Ireland Hutchins, Samantha McConowitz, Jackson Murtha, Nicholas Perry, and Carlton Roberts. The Rossford Little League Football Scholarships go to Jordan Boland, Grace Nitz, Nicholas Perry, and John Sanders. The Anita Schufritz Memorial Scholarship goes to Tesla Bias, Megan Giroux, Jackson Murtha, and Carlton Roberts. The Stephen J. Kromick and Chop C. Adams Music Scholarship goes to Tesla Bias. The Strive Scholarships go to Gabe Belcher and Rebecca Cooper. And the Student Council Scholarships go to Tesla Bias, Ireland Hutchins, Catherine Mcmillan, Jackson Murtha, and Emily Pruss. At this time, this concludes the class of 2020 commencement. Have a nice evening.